next segment of this, which is censorship. All right. So censorship is obviously censoring people and silencing people for whatever the reason it is that you feel like they should be silenced. So if you feel like, oh, Alex said something mean to me on Twitter, all right, we'll censor her. But you can't do that. Well, I mean, you shouldn't be able to do that anyways. So essentially what's happening is people are being banned, demonetized, got a warning for the content that was put out by them, right? So you have different censorships, such as, as what I said, and you will have copyright infringement that they'll claim. Even one, I was watching the stream earlier for one of these guys that I watch, and his in the middle of the stream, it just like completely shut off, and it said, "Oh, well, they violated whatever policy or whatever, right?" And they were doing a review of clips from a podcaster, right? And they're doing a review of it. So what they were doing was they played like 15 seconds of it, stopped it. You know how people do review videos and whatnot. I mean, there's plenty of channels that do this. But this one, because of what they were talking about, it was a bit too controversial. So it was like, oh, well, you're in violation. Let's turn it off, right? You start demonetizing people. And that kind of, eventually, depending on who you are, of course, that will make it so that you're like, you know what? Maybe it's not worth it. Maybe I should just not talk about certain topics, or maybe I shouldn't talk about this. Maybe I should only talk about, the happy things in life. And that's something that shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? Censorship, I don't care. It shouldn't matter what you're saying, as long as you're not like, oh, I can't give a good example of this, but I mean, like, even it shouldn't matter what you're saying, as long as you're not like, let's go and, cause harm to XYZ or whatever the case may be, right? It shouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, that is your right to have, free speech. You should be able to do so. I mean, we even looked at how Trump was being banned from Twitter, and I believe we're in 2021. I think he'll be eligible for a Twitter account again in 2023. I want to say it's 2 years, being banned for 2 years. And, they were even coming down on him because they were like, oh, well, it's because, of this. Oh, it's because of that. He's exciting violence. Oh, well, he's blocking people and this and that. And it's like, well, you can't tell me, well, he shouldn't be doing this, he shouldn't be doing that, but we're not going to make it a public, utility. But it's your own personal account. But still, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't try to play both sides. You can't say, oh, it's your personal stuff, whatever, and then you're like, oh, but it doesn't work with what I want you to say. Because if you were saying what I want you to say, then I'll keep you on there. But because you were going away from what I want you to say, which is a liberal thing, then you're like, oh, well, you're in big trouble. And that's the problem that I have, because if you look through time and you think about the different people that have, said risque things, we have the Malcolm X's, we have Martin Luther King, and people in that realm of people, you know what I mean? To me, it's, now what if they were saying this stuff? What if, let's say we had all this technology back then. What if they were saying this stuff? What would you block them? Because they're saying that, black people should be treated like everyone else and, peace or, whatever. Would you honestly be like, well, I'm sorry, we don't, that's wrong. No, you're wrong. You're very wrong for that. I don't think that you should just be censoring. Yes, people have different opinions. Yes, not everyone's going to think the exact same, but that does not allow you, or shouldn't, you shouldn't have the power to just be like, okay, well, you're done. I just don't think that's right to do. And then going with this whole censorship, and more specifically with YouTube, they're like I said, they're cracking down on people, man. Like they're straight up cracking down on people because they're going like a year back is the longest that I've heard so far. It may be longer for some people, but they're going a year back, and they're having the algorithm or people. I don't know how they do it. But they're having the people or whatever going through your video. Oh, we found a violation, even though we changed our rules. If you made this video in January 1st, 2021, and it's now June 1st, 2021, and then you're like, okay, but we just changed the policy, but this video that was made violates our new policy. Boom. No, you can't do that. You know what I mean? They're just taking videos now from, that were made a year ago or whatever. And they're just like flag, 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 flag. And it's demonetizing people. And I mean, that makes people, like I said, it makes people not want to fucking make videos. Or at least not have it on their platform. Which I think is making it worse on you. But that's what I get. That's what I see. I feel like this all started though when I don't know when it all started, but I'm feeling like it really started when the mainstream media started seeing their numbers dip and people, more social media. Obviously, it was after you get the Twitters and all that, and people are waking up. People are like, yo, what's going on? They're especially hitting it hard now because as we've seen with the pandemic, no UBI, we have no $15 minimum wage, even though you guys, the progressive people, have campaigned on that, did not give us anything that you said you were going to do. We have no Medicare for all, nothing at all. And you have people who could still be alive today, but now they're not because they didn't have Medicare. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have any kind of health care at all. And I mean, now you have I think it's what the age for Medicare has even gone up. And it's like you guys are just hurting the American people. People are now waking up to it, and they're like, I'm not supporting you. I'm not going to watch any of your stuff because all you're doing is lying to me. You're not telling me the truth. You're not telling me anything of value in all reality. I mean, you're giving me some crazy stories that I have no interest in, because they are not going to help my situation. You don't care because you're making $200,000 a year. You know what I mean? You have full benefits for life, this and that, and a third. And I'm supposed to be like, yeah, I guess I gotta wait. Meanwhile, you're okay, and I'm not. I just lost my home. You haven't lost your home. I can't afford my rent. You can afford your rent. I have kids I gotta feed. You got kids that are already fed. It 2 times over. I mean, come on, man. Then you look, and then it's like this whole thing with censorship. It's just you're violating the First Amendment, and it's because you guys, no one is buying your crap anymore. All you have to do in all reality is this: open your ears, maybe even do this. Tell the American people the truth. Tell them the truth on everything. That's all you have to do. Just tell people the truth, no secrets. If you are a piece of shit, just say it, and you wonder why from the transition from Obama Biden to Trump Pence, you wonder why that even happened. I mean, one, you guys put Hillary in there, which I don't, no one likes that. So let's just be real. But you're the reason why. I mean, people complain like, oh, we got Trump. Blame Obama, Biden. That's who you need to be blaming. In all reality, they helped create this. You know, I mean, you guys are not helping the people. You guys have these shady practices, and people are like, well, man, you know what? I'd rather, even if you're a Democrat or independent, I'd rather just vote for Trump, you know, and not, you know, Clinton. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. And then now you guys are confused that, oh my goodness, I don't get how he won. It's because you guys. So this is what I don't get. I really don't get it, man. It's just like, it's not hard to give people what it is that they want. I mean, you're over here censoring people, you know, because you guys can't seem to utter the truth at all. You know, then I don't get it, man. Because I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Oh, I'm going to just make it so that people don't watch them and they watch us, but no one's buying your crap. Most people, you know, I'm not going to say most people, but you have a lot of people who are waking up, who are seeking the truth. They're thinking more so, you know, before they're just like, oh, whatever. And even me, I was just like, oh, whatever, you know, it is what it is. I don't really care. You know, it doesn't affect me, right? Any of that. And then you start thinking like, well, how did this happen? Why is this happening? How could that have been prevented? Well, what could we do for this? And then now you got people who are, you know, coming up with channels, letting people know, hey, this is the side you really need to be on, because those two, you know, you got the red hat, you got the blue hat, they don't care about you. Because if they did, right now, this is June 18th, 2021. Right now, you have the $15 minimum wage because it would have been that coronavirus bill. You would have had the UBI, you would have had the universal health care. I mean, you would have been able to cut homelessness in half, if not just completely solve it, if Biden would not be giving money to Israel and the military, you know, and you just have politicians who are not fighting for you, you have politicians who are not there for you. You know what I mean? So that's something I don't really understand, is why people are still constantly supporting them, you know. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think about this, with this whole censorship, the old media versus new media. If there was something I maybe have missed out on, sure there was. Let me know, and then we can have a nice little discussion. All right.